More turnover inside the office of St. Louis Circuit Attorney Kim Gardner. News 4 has confirmed that top trial attorney Marvin Tier will be leaving the office soon. That announcement coming during a time of just great scrutiny for Gardner's office. As of right now, we know that Tier's departure is happening, but there is no mention of when the exact date will be. So his departure will leave only 5 people to handle the hundreds of major prosecutions in the city of St. Louis, already a backlog of cases. He's also leaving just weeks after the Missouri Attorney General filed a lawsuit to remove Kim Gardner from office. As a bill is also moving its way through the state capitol, he's been in the fight with her, speaking out on the work he says her office has done.
Come see what we do. I'll show you we didn't. And I'll show you each and every day we do whatever is in our power to make sure we do the right thing.
We reached out to the circuit attorney's office about his departure. They released a statement to us saying in part, quote, Judge Marvin Tier has been an invaluable leader in our office. He's led his team with integrity. Judge Tier will continue to be an asset to the office. As the office transitions his role, he will continue to provide support. We wish him the best as he transitions from our office to spend more time with his family, end quote. Well, Tier came out of retirement back in 2021 to join Gardner's office, training other prosecutors and leading many high-profile cases. He previously worked as a city prosecutor, an assistant attorney general, a traffic court judge, and an administrative judge.